Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. I'm also going to talk about real world events that are playing out right now. So we're looking at the 1-day chart on XRP. Sitting here just above 49 cents. A lot of people have been asking me when I think we're going to break above 55 cents because we were stuck between 50 and 55 cents for almost 2 months. I think the next catalyst is either the Ripple versus SEC case ending or the ETH ETFs, whichever comes first. I think that will be the catalyst that sends the market breaking out. But until then, we could even dip down lower. I see people calling for like a 40-cent XRP. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Now, today is the day that the Saudi Arabia U.S. Petrodollar agreement expires. The futures for crypto and XRP. This comes from Crypto Barbie. Now, I want to know what's going to happen with the market come Monday morning. You know, is this going to be a plunge on the US dollar and the stock market? We really don't know yet. Or is this going to be something that has no effect on the market and plays out over time? Because right now the DXY is showing strength. It's actually up a little bit. I honestly thought it would be dropping down by now. And, you know, now we got to think of where we go from here as far as crypto. I think we're going to a gold-backed system, honestly. I think we will have a US dollar backed by something. That's the path forward, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts on that? Put it in the comments section down below. The US dollar will be in a world of hurt soon. Focus on your exit strategies and stay safe. This comes from Mr. Man. And, you know, as we're exiting crypto and people are taking profit, I don't think you're going to be doing it in US dollars. I think we're going to see alt season this year for sure for XRP and the rest of these altcoins. But when it comes time to cash out, what's the US dollar going to look like by then? Take a listen to US Congressman Thomas Massey. He says the world is going to stop using the US dollar.
Because the world is using our currency, and we can do that as long as they use our currency. But I think it's going to end at some point. They're going to quit using our dollars as reserve currency. I mean, I watched your interview with Putin, and one of the things, you know, whether you hate him or not, one of the things he said that is true is when we sanctioned him, before we sanctioned Russia, 70% of their transactions were in US dollars. And after the sanctions, it's less than 20% of their transactions are in US dollars. So what we're doing with all these sanctions, ironically, we're shooting ourselves in the foot every time we sanction a country and say you can't use our currency to have a transaction. We're taking away our ability to charge them 3% for that transaction, because when we print 3% more dollars, we're just taking that money.
And like I said in countless videos, the US weaponizing the dollar, every country around the world pays attention to that. They don't want to be a victim of that. So they want to get ahead of that already. They want to move away from the US dollar totally and move towards a different system. I think CBDC will also give countries a better path forward, a level playing field as well. But like I said, this is going to continue on. Country after country is getting away from the US dollar. And this is also happening at the same time. The digital yuan is expected to launch this evening. The BRICS have a common bank to foster international trade and bridges the tokenized real-world assets path for Forex trade amongst and with these nations. If you dig into Enbridge, an EVM-compatible custom blockchain, you'll realize that it isn't XRP and cannot communicate with other chains without a common standard interoperability solution. But here's where XRP would come in this situation. No matter what they use, it doesn't matter. they're still going to need a bridge currency. Even inside the BRICS, these countries don't really trust each other. Do you think Russia fully trusts China? And do you think China fully trusts Russia? No. Do you think India trusts China? Not fully. So they're definitely going to need a bridge asset in there. And that's where XRP would come in, the world's neutral bridge currency. But it's ironic that the digital yuan is expected to launch as well, as we're seeing the petrodollar agreement end at the same time. Then there's the end the Fed. Senator Mike Lee introduces bill to abolish the Federal Reserve. So what's the path forward for the Federal Reserve? Because gold also ends the Fed. Are we getting ready to unplug from the dollar to the gold standard? Gold shall destroy the Fed. We've seen that on the debt clock. And I think that's where we're headed. Honestly, the way I watched power move from the Fed to the Treasury, that makes me think we're going to see the Treasury dollar sooner than we think. And I think we will end the Fed at some point. But what's going to replace the Fed? Now, a lot of people would say, well, Ripple is in line to replace the Fed if they became a central bank. Of course. But I don't think the Fed is going to go away that easy. I think it's going to take a bit of time, but I think it will happen at some point. This comes from Smoke. Gold will be one of the forms of value that XRP can transport. It will be very limiting on the overall potential utility of XRP to just peg its price to gold. Imagine a shipping container that can transport any valuable good, but was only used for shoes. Wouldn't make sense. And this is what I've been saying for a while now, and I'm glad that Smoke actually posted this. Because when you're dealing with a bridge currency, right, why would you want it to be pegged to gold or backed by gold? It's going to be moving the value of gold. But imagine XRP being used to move, say, 10,000 barrels of oil or 100,000 barrels of oil or something else, you know, in bulk. And that transaction still has to take place in between two countries. And again, you have the neutral bridge in between. XRP is going to be more valuable than gold at some point. That's my opinion on XRP. And I think we're already on the path to getting there. Tokenization is going to be a game changer for everything around XRP and XLM and XDC and these other ISO cryptocurrencies as well. It doesn't just end with XRP is what I'm saying. If you're holding XRP, you should always diversify into these other ISO cryptocurrencies. XDC right now, in my opinion, is like the most undervalued cryptocurrency right now. You think XRP is undervalued? I think XDC's price is absolutely pathetic. Wait until digital trade starts gaining traction, starts really growing out around the world. XDC is going to be one of those shocking cryptocurrencies that nobody was paying attention to. Altcoins are coming to Wall Street. The more risk you take, the more return you should get paid for having taken that risk. Take a listen to this.
Risk is the more risk you take, the more return you should get paid for having taken that risk. And so in crypto, there is immense risk. But the further you get on the coin market cap list, the more risk you're taking. And therefore, you're going to need to drive a higher and higher return to compensate you for that risk. And that's exactly what Wall Street's looking for. Wall Street loves things that go up 10%. They love things even more that go up 100%. But if you show up and say, there's an asset that may go up 10,000% or it may go to zero, you have a line out the door of Wall Street investors who say, let me understand what this is. Let me try to value it. Let me try to predict the future. And I'm willing to risk a little bit of dollars in order to make a big return.
And that's why Wall Street's gonna love crypto. It's the same thing that brought us into crypto as retail investors. That lure of getting rich at a very fast pace. Not get rich quick though. Not if you're an XRP holder. You know, we're in this for such a long period of time now. But early on, you couldn't see where this was going. You had hints on where this was going, but you couldn't see it yet. Now you see how big this is actually going to be. And, wait until alt season begins. It's going to be an absolutely incredible time. You're going to hear people talking about they just got 100x on this crypto and 1,000x on this crypto, because those cryptocurrencies are out there. There's a lot of very undervalued cryptocurrencies right now that have a lot of upside potential. I like Nexera. It's one of my favorite cryptocurrencies. It's built for tokenization. I think it's going to play a role in the new financial system. And it's still very cheap and undervalued right now as well. Same thing with XLM. I think the price of XLM should be much higher. I think the price of XRP should be much higher. But these are cryptocurrencies that if you hold them long enough, not only will you get rich, but you will get wealthy. And that's where the difference is, with utility driving the price of these assets. Because, everybody's thinking alt season and how much gains they're going to get throughout alt season. I'm thinking more on the lines of utility run. Wait until that happens. That's going to be long and drawn out, and I think it's going to be more and more upside movement on a lot of these cryptocurrencies when it happens. XRP $1,000. As this transitions away from retail to institutions, we'll start to use it for wholesale financial usage. Dreams will become a reality for many. Take a listen to this.
For example, in this last quarter, the bulk of XRP sales were to institutional investors. And as this transitions away from retail to institutions, we'll start to use it for wholesale financial usage. That's when the turning point will come.
So think about once the institutions really start getting involved with crypto, they're going to want those big gains. And that's what keeps me really bullish, because as they're getting their gains, we'll be getting rich. I just stressed that in a video yesterday. That's what's coming. And they're all telling you that it's coming. I still think the second half of 2024 is going to be absolutely amazing. Is Ripple abandoning XRP? Someone needs to explain this as soon as possible. Now, this has been something that's been talked about more and more now that Ripple talked about releasing their stablecoin. Take a listen to Monica Long right here about a bridge asset.
Just the relationship between the stablecoin and XRP. Obviously, you use XRP in some of your products in terms of the cross-border. If you've got the stablecoin, is there a need for XRP in this mix?
Absolutely. We use a mix of assets to serve our payments customers, so including stable coins as well as XRP. The use case for XRP in particular is as it was envisioned by the original creators of the ledger and of XRP, and that is as a bridge asset for the long tail of currency pairs. And we're talking about tokenization of other types of assets. In the future, when you have new types of assets tokenized on chain, having a really efficient intermediary bridge asset to make, any.
And that's why XRP is game changing. No matter what the value is, you're gonna need a bridge asset. David Schwartz also answered this. It's just a fictional pitch for a fictional movie. The circumstances needed to make the pitch match reality haven't happened yet. David Schwartz knows that XRP is going to be utilized going forward. Imagine those massive liquidity pools and all the lockups on XRP. But then think about XRP being used like escrow as well by certain companies, certain banks. This is going to get so much bigger than most people think. And people could say whatever they want about Ripple's new stablecoin. I think that was the path forward for Ripple, to get them in more doors at more banks. That's what it comes down to. I still think XRP is still going to gain so much value over time, and XRP holders are going to get very rich from it. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.